You got to get rid of it. Because if you don't, then after you've cleaned the house, it'll bring back demons and enemies that are even greater than the ones that you dismissed to begin with. You've got to fill it with the things of God. You've got to crucify the flesh. You cannot keep it on life support, man. You cannot. Pull the plug. So here's where we're going to go. Is in Hebrews 12:1, it talks about throwing off all the things that hinders us. And so I've kind of given this illustration that for those who haven't been here, I want to do it. As you go through life, you got to be careful because the sins that are familiar to you, you're going to want to come back. Oh, what's wrong with just clicking the website one time? It's no big deal. I still love my wife, right? What's the big deal if all of a sudden I go out with the guys? It's not that big. I mean, I can manage this. This isn't that big deal. This thing's not heavy. I can carry this sin. And then all of a sudden, I get kind of comfortable, so then I become lax, and all of a sudden I let something else come into my life, and I compromise again. And all of a sudden the sin starts to become bigger, and I start to become more hindered as I go on in my walk. But it tells me to throw off everything that hinders me. The sin that entangles and entwines me. Okay? How am I going to get somewhere if I'm all wrapped up in chains? And I'm bound up. Then I come again. And all of a sudden, it just starts getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And then people can start to hear it, but I can still hide it kind of well, and I can do pretty good with it. But it's really starting to get heavy. How do I get rid of it? Who do I talk to about it? That's why, as it starts out, surround yourself by such a cloud of witnesses. In Hebrews 12, it's talking about the Hall of Fame all before, all the people that have been there, done that kind of thing. That's what this Band of Brothers is all about. You're not alone. You're only alone if you allow yourself to be alone. If you don't reach out to one of your fellow men, the turning of the ring is awesome. But have the guts and the courage to just walk up to somebody and tell them, I'm struggling, I need help. Don't wait for them to see your ring. Okay? Now all of a sudden what happens is in my life is it starts to get, now all of a sudden I want to get into some other sin that's a little more attractive, it looks a little bit better. Because this sin's kind of ugly. This sin looks pretty good, so all of a sudden, I'm going to buy something that I really shouldn't buy. I don't have the finances. I know my ties aren't what they should be, but, I really deserve this car. And now all of a sudden, notice I got a hook on him. And what will start to happen is I'm over here and I'm trying to witness to my brother, and he's not a Christian, but he knows that I am, but he sees the way that I live in my life, and it's not kind of really in alignment. And all of a sudden he's like, well, he's a Christian and he can do those things, then I can probably do some of those or even greater. So he doesn't even start out with the smaller sins. He just comes straight out. We go right off the bat. And all of a sudden now he's got sin entangled across him. And all of a sudden, I was the cause of it, and we're intertwined. And then the chain goes the wrong way. And now the enemy can use what you call your faith to hinder other people. To stop other people from coming to the Lord. To keep them from growing in their faith. And even if I try to take it from them and carry the load. And now all of a sudden, it just keeps getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And it doesn't matter what I try to do with it. I can try to, attach it to something else. But if I don't completely crucify it, if I don't completely throw it off, then this is what I've done. Thank God for His Word. Thank God for His grace and His mercy. And by the way, grace, it is unmerited favor, but it is also power. Because let me challenge you with something about how it's powerful. In Luke 2:40, does anyone know what says come upon Jesus? The grace of God came upon him. Did Jesus need saved? Did he need unmerited favor? No. He was the Son of God. He was fully God, fully man. What was it that came upon Jesus? Power. There was power that came on him. So through that power, through his blood, we can shed this off of us. We can get rid of this. And in John 8:32 it says, you know the truth will what? Set you free. It will set you free. My chains can be broken. All my chains can fall to the ground. But it's only if you allow it to. It's only if you allow the truth to set you free. But then you can't go back to the sins, and it's going to be commonplace for you. It's the easier thing to do. It's easier to go into isolation. We just keep going in this vicious circle ever since the garden. You know what was our first mistake in the garden? It's going to the tree to begin with. Anyone know where the tree was? What does Genesis tell us where the tree was? It's right in the middle. We had to walk by all of God's blessings just to get to the tree that we weren't supposed to go to. Don't pass up all of God's blessings. So if we will do these things, you won't be riding the, straw above a berry bike. You won't be trying to go to Chicago, on the bike like that. Instead, you have a little bit more power behind you. If you allow him to work in your life the right way, this is the power you can have. You know what's also cool about this analogy is in these situations, I still have to do all the work. In this, all I got to do is let God guide me and let the power push me down the path that I need to go down. This is the visual that I want you to remember when you walk in freedom. When you break off the chains, when you throw off those things that hinder you, this is the power that you can walk in, not this. I don't know about you guys, but this is where I want to live my life. I want to impact my society. I don't want this just for me. This is for the people that we come in contact with. So, man, I'm proud of you, but it doesn't stop here. You've got to keep going. You've got to go to another level. Because if you stop, you'll find yourself here, or under all of this. Don't find yourself in those places. So, thank you guys.